Welcome to REV'N News. I'm Mike, and this is Joe, your REV'N News hosts.
REV'N News is your weekly automotive news source, delivering highlights on the latest products in the market and the industry's top movers and shakers. At REV'N News, we cover anything that revs.
Now, if you're watching the show, then you probably like adding, or you're wanting to add more power and performance to your ride.
But not everyone has a large budget to overhaul an engine with larger cams, pistons, and the like.
So this week we're talking about simple bolt-on performance parts that won't break the bank, but will add some more power to your ride.
And we sat down with three well-known manufacturers of simple bolt-on performance parts, like K&N for instance, to learn more about who they are and what they have to offer.
Yeah, so K&N was founded in 1969 by Ken and Norm. They used to race off-road motorcycle racing, and they needed a filter that would withstand the harsh environment and that would last the entire race. So they came up with a high-flow cotton air filter that really did a good job at. K&N air filters are designed to increase horsepower. They're made from high-flow cotton material, and it's oiled. And the oil is actually what helps capture dirt. They're designed to last the entire life of the vehicle. They're washable and reusable. You only have to clean them every 50,000 miles instead of a regular paper air filter that you have to change out every 10 to 15,000 miles. So it's a lot of value in a K&N air filter. We have a variety of other products that complement our high-flow air filters. We have oil filters as well, a high premium brand that really backs our customers up, and we have amazing warranty, in-house customer service. We're widely available, anywhere brick and mortar stores to online. And you see us at all the races, anything from drag racing to dirt racing, off-road, you name it, NASCAR. At K&N, we have a lot of our employees that are racers. They test the product firsthand. We also have a lot of athletes that we sponsor, and we get great feedback from them on the products, existing products and new products. And this helps us either improve or really validate when we're building brand new products. In 2015, we recently released our 2015 Mustang air filter, replacement air filter. We also released a Stingray air filter, and our goal for our replacement filters is to have 99 to 100% coverage on all applications. We want to make sure that if there's a new vehicle out there, there's going to be an option for a K&N replacement filter that will last the lifetime of the vehicle. Our other product line at K&N, we have K&N air intake systems. We have them in 3 different options. We have them in a black rotomolded intake tube, a chrome intake tube, and now our new Blackhawk air intake systems. And our goal there is to make more horsepower than our replacement filters. Easy to install. Usually it takes about 90 minutes to install them with regular hand tools. We have dyno graphs on our website where a customer can go and see what type of horsepower they can expect from our air intake systems. With something like this, you can take it out of the box, install it in usually 90 minutes. You get instant horsepower that you're going to feel and you're going to hear.
Taking in more air is a sure way to get more power. But what about pushing exhaust gases out of the cylinders to keep the clean air flowing? Adding an aftermarket exhaust header or manifold is not only an easy upgrade, but it's also a good way to relieve back pressure and get that exhaust out, giving you better performance.
But there are differences between headers and manifolds, and each has pros and cons. Let's take a look at headers first.
Hello, my name is Mark Lewis, and I'm the VP of Marketing for Headman Performance Group, which is a company that consists of 4 brands. It's Headman Headers, Transdat Performance Products, Hamburger's Performance Products, and Headman Hustler Race Headers. Headman Headers was founded back in 1954 by a guy who's probably just like you. He's a real car guy. Used to head on out to the Salt Flats desert here in California and just race with his buddies. He started building a set of headers that we put on his car to make his car go faster, and then his buddies started to ask him, how are you doing that? One thing turned to another, and he then started building headers for his buddies. And that's where Headman Headers started. Now, 60 years later, we're still doing the same thing. We're just doing it a lot better. We manufactured and sold over 2 million sets of headers in this time. And even though we're known mostly for classic muscle cars, we also stay on top of the new applications like new Camaros and Challengers, and also the brand new Mustang. We've got, for the 2011 2014 Mustang GT, we have a set of 50 state legal headers and also a set of long tubes if you're looking for the most power and going out on the track. Not street legal, but a very good product nonetheless. The mid-lengths that we have for this Mustang, they're manufactured out of T304 stainless steel, and then we put a ceramic metallic coating which keeps underhood temperatures down, more heat in the tube, which increases the exhaust gas velocity, which helps in producing more power. So this set of headers is a direct replacement for the factory. So you basically take off your stock manifold, bolt these on, they hook right up to the existing exhaust, and you're ready to go. Like I say, they're 50 state legal, so you can use them in every state in the union and not have to worry about Johnny Law stopping you. With our Headman header line, the biggest noise for the year is actually not about a new product, it's about a new finish that we have available for headers. In 1984, we started coating our headers with a silver ceramic metallic coating, which keeps underhood temperatures down and increases exhaust flow, so it actually will give you a little bit more power in addition to the protection that it offers. Now this year, we've introduced our black max coating, which is basically the same as the silver, except it has other trace elements that make it black. And that's good for guys who are looking for a sleeper look and don't want the bling that the silver coating might bring to your vehicle. So if you're looking for a coating or a header that is going to fit into your engine bay, is not going to be real showy, then our black max is the way that you would want to go. Good up to 1400 degrees, and it's available on all of our headers.
Headers are a great way to add some performance and some good looks. But as Joe said, there are pros and cons to the different types of exhaust systems. Let's take a look at one of the best-known companies out there for exhaust systems.
Magnaflow is a company that's been in the business of building exhaust for about 35 years. And really, we started off as a company that was in the emissions world and evolved into what is today known as Magnaflow, the performance exhaust company. We do cover everything from header all the way to tailpipe. This means we do have certified 50 state legal headers. We do have emissions compliant federal and California catalytic converters. And of course, we have all varieties of exhaust systems ranging from your truck to your car and now even the motorcycle world. When it comes to building products, Magnaflow always puts first to market first. We want to make sure that we have the best quality equipment, which means we have the people in manufacturing to do so. But we also want to make sure that the consumers get the products when they're most excited about them. When it comes to 2015, obviously, we had all the 2015 pre-production cars to evaluate well before the actual consumer gets them, so we can create some prototypes and really figure out what we can do with the exhaust systems. This means evaluating horsepower, sound, and of course nowadays even considering some things like economy. We're building power, we're building quality, and of course we're doing all this right here in Southern California, made in the USA. We're really an open book company. When it comes to building exhaust systems, there really isn't this black magic. I know when you look at performance parts, it's like, how do you maximize power? It really comes down to the science of it. And when you look at our capabilities as a manufacturer, it also comes from what we do in research and engineering. We take everything down to its minimum. We test what the manufacturers have, we replicate it, we then do a process, and that process is carried out from beginning to end for every product line we have. If we can't make the power, we can't have the appropriate sound, it doesn't have the fitment, there's no purpose in making it. So the one thing we can always guarantee is when you have a Magnaflow product that you're buying at a consumer level, it's got all those qualities built in. Magnaflow's sound is just that. It's a Magnaflow sound. We've been very careful of making sure that the mufflers and the way we pack them, the materials that we use, generate that low kind of deep sound that you would expect. There's a lot of different ways you can make a car sound, and really what we're doing is enhancing what comes out of the motor, but how we tweak it, and again, how we kind of shape that, gives it that distinct note. So when you do hear that car going down the road, whether car or truck, you definitely hear a Magnaflow sound. Apart from the big splash that Ford's made for 2015, Magnaflow has a lot coming out too. In 2015, we have some new technologies we're incorporating. Obviously, we've been dabbling in the world of headers, and we've got some more technology that we've developed proprietary for that, but really we're looking into delving into that customer that wants performance exhaust. And in today's market, whether you're looking at cars like the Corvette or some of the BMW M3, M4 line products, they have factory integrated valves. Some of these valves control performance, some of them are for emissions, and again, we want to make sure that they're there for some sound quality as well. We're looking at making some double-digit power, and of course having that fitment that you expect, and of course with a little bit of that Magnaflow touch, you're getting that ceramic titanium coating, which makes the finish look everything you're looking for inside that engine compartment. All this technology was derived from one place. That's our consumer. We have some of the most demanding consumers who want top quality and the best performance. And really, one of the things that's great about being a part of Magnaflow is the fact that you can see all that, whether you're visiting our Facebook site at Facebook.com/Magnaflow, or even at our website, where we have all the information you can find about dyno charts, sound clips, and just about anything you want to know about our products. And again, that's at www.magnaflow.com.
Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're heading to the LA Roadster Show to talk to one of the better-known car builders. Stay tuned.
Talk about builders. The name that comes to the top in most cases is Troy Trepagna. We're going to find out why in a second. Troy, welcome to REV'N News.
What's up, Joe? How are you, man?
I'm doing fine. I have a little bit of a voice left. You're going to be doing all the talking today. Already the crowd's starting to gather around here, and it seems like you've got as much attention on a car that you built 10 years ago as some of these cars are just getting built and shown right now. Why do you think that is?
Well, Joe, you know, we try each time when we build these cars, you got to let the car tell you what it wants a little bit. And what I mean by that is the style, you know, like we've done spoke wheels, white walls, and I'm not a fan of that stuff, but the cars need it.
So when you walk around these shows, I mean, obviously your focus is on the vehicles that you build. Have you seen anything else outside of your booth that's got your attention to this year's show?
You know, we walk around, and a lot of times I don't stop, but I'm looking, right? We always come away from here with like 3 or 4 things. It may be a part, it may be a color, a style, you know, and there's a lot of bits and pieces that I see. And what we do is we go home then and package them right, and people think you've reinvented the wheel. But all you're doing is taken from somewhere else.
Sure, and I'm sure a lot of folks are doing that with you. Troy, when we do talk about what you're doing and some of the trends that you're creating and the styling cues that you apply to these vehicles, it's got to be pretty cool when you see such a large group of other talented builders kind of coming over to you, whether it's for a little bit of a vote of confidence or a little bit of affirmation. How does that make you feel when you've got that support from your peers?
You know, we're proud of it, and we always share our ideas, you know, because it's just one big industry when you look at it. You know, there's really no competition. You know, most of the guys that I interact with are my buddies. We share customers, you know, and it's getting harder to keep on the leading edge all the time. You know, even the guy in the garage now is building stuff that 10 years ago would have been as cool as we were doing. So, you know, we're constantly looking. I go into other avenues, like look at faucets, watches, you know, different, you know, textures, finishes, and always trying to do something different. And a lot of what we've been doing lately, Joe, is just bringing something out, and people may come up and say, man, that's really bitching, or that's interesting. Probably wouldn't do that to mine, but I like looking at it, and that's good for me. I hate doing something somebody else is doing, so we're constantly looking to always go a different way. And Bonneville's helped us. You know, we'll do this, show everybody, then we'll go build a race car. So we bounce all over, so you kind of stay fresh and even draw, you know, enthusiasm from there and bring it into here. And I did that when I first started in 1990. I had the only set of Boyd billet wheels at the Street Machine Nationals. So I'd been to a few street rod events. So it worked then. It's harder now, but we're still trying.
I know you've been busy. Just finished up that 59 for the folks over at Mothers. Can you give us a little bit of an idea what that vehicle was about?
You know, we're really honored because, you know, Mothers works with everybody. Jim and his family there been around. They started that business 38 years ago and handing out that, you know, the little white tub of polish out of the back of that at marine shows. So we're very fortunate and proud to have them bring it all the way to Illinois for us to redo, you know, and Jim's mom and my mom are going to drive that on the Power Tour this year, so it's kind of bitching. You know, it's upscaled now. It's their 59 sedan to everybody. Everybody knows the red one. It's still red, but everything's changed 100% from there. So, you know, we're really honored to work with those guys, and we almost got it done. We're trying to bring it here, but cut it a little bit too short. So the main key, though, is to get it roadworthy so we can do the Power Tour.
Speaking of the Power Tour, where else can some of the REV'N viewers find you this year in terms of your event schedule?
Well, you know, we're going to do the Power Tour. We always do Columbus Good Guys. You know, few different shows with the good guys. You know, what we've been trying to do, too, Joe, is go to different venues, like I'm saying. Like, we'll go to Eyes on Design in Michigan or, you know, Woodward Cruise or just different, go look for different people, you know, because when you go to the same thing all the time, you see the same thing. So we're trying to move around and do a lot of different things this year and find different venues, different avenues. And, you know, whether you get a customer there or not, you'll draw a lot of inspiration and try to get bigger. You know, a lot of the guys in our industry are known for kind of one thing. Well, we're doing street rods, street machines, race cars, new cars. You know, we try to broaden that horizon. And that way, I mean, instead of being here, you're here. So I think it's worked well and it keeps going up the ladder.
You know, one thing I did want to mention, I'd be remiss not to, is the fact that we lost your dad, Jack. Not only was Jack dear to many of us, in fact, I spent some time talking with Moose yesterday, and, you know, there's a little void when I came in and I see everybody and I don't see him. How you doing with that?
You know, I'm good. I'm real fortunate. I didn't go to college, so I spent probably my whole life other than 100 days with him. So, you know, I've got a lot of young guys that work for me that move from out of state, and they don't see their parents. So, you know, I'm not greedy, you know. I wish he was still here for my kids especially, you know. But unfortunately, you know, I think my good friend and customer, Mark Miriani, summed it up the best. It's just not as fun without him because, as you know, he was the life of the party and made it fun. And he was probably more passionate than I was about it. You know, he was my biggest fan and you know, like seeing you know, he was the guy when we got it done, he brought it around and showed everybody and was standing tall by it, you know. And I'm more into the challenge of building the car, where he was definitely, he had his chest puffed up, and you know, had a lot of friends in the industry. You know, if you could survive the
Wrath of Jack?
Yeah, the wrath of Jack, hey, you were gold. You know, and it's been tough without him. You know, we got some pictures of him in the shop, look at for inspiration, and but you know, hey, it's life. You never know which way it's going to turn, so you got to go for it each day.
Yeah, and he's probably looking down at us right now, smiling.
Oh yeah.
Here's to you, Jack. Welcome back to REV'N News. Here at REV'N News, we like to cover anything that revs, and we also like to go to car shows to not only see all the cool rides, but also to catch up with some of the manufacturers as well.
So we hit up the Street Rod Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky, and the Good Guys show in Columbus, Ohio, and found a couple of vendors who have some cool parts. Take a look.
Joe, we had a chance to run into the folks over at T-Seats and had an opportunity to hook up with Charlie. Charlie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our REV'N viewers?
My name is Charlie Ashton. I work at Tees Design. I'm a production manager at Tees. Work on seats. Do pretty much everything other than sewing. Not that I can't. I just do too many other things.
Yeah, a good general manager does a little bit of everything, right?
I try to get around, do a little this, a little that. Yep.
Well, look, I've got my hand on this seat, and I'm already feeling the comfort. I had a chance to sit on one of those seats, and I've sat on a few over my 56 years. You guys have something here. It has a feel unlike any seats that I've sat on, and I can just tell by feeling the leather and looking at the stitching, this isn't your average seat.
It's a little different. The biggest thing we've always strived for is having a product that's comfortable. Not day one, not down the road, but thousands of miles down the road. That's what we strive for in the quality of products we use, the design, and making sure that they fit in the vehicle.
These aren't seats that are on some shelf where folks order them for their Camaro or their 32. We're talking about pretty much custom applications here.
Unfortunately, it's not quite that easy with the variety of cars that we try to cover with our set design. So no, they're hand built. They're designed to fit in between or around obstacles that might be in cars, such as cages if need be. But yep, and then we tailor them and finish them off the way we always do with the chrome hinge brackets and include the slide tracks along with it.
The seating surface. You know, everybody has leather seats, but we all know that leather is available and sourced from a lot of different areas outside of the U.S. as well. This doesn't seem like something you just roll down and kind of pick up in, I don't know, Michigan or Ohio.
It's a little different. We try to use stuff that's soft in hand. Primarily, it's got to work with our product because it's not a flat seat. It's not, you know, you're off the automotive cars, not a takeout from a car. So, yeah, we cover in a variety of leathers, English leathers and stuff like that. We've got 2 or 3 lines of vinyls that we like to use as well that, they pretty much feel and look like leather. So
good. I'm noticing a lot of vehicles are trucks out there. Fat fender cars and trucks. Talk a little bit about the applications for trucks and how much is the truck segment a part of your business?
Yeah, street rods, of course, what we started off with, and recently in the last 5, 10, 15 years, trucks have come around huge. Classic trucks, C10s, F100s, etc. Of course, the classic 50s trucks as well. Taking our set design that we've always used in hot rods, made them bigger, extended them out, and of course made them sure that they fit within the cars, or within the cabs anyways.
Sure. Well, look, I know that you're busy. Looks like you got a lot of people around the booth. Thanks for taking some time with us. Folks, if you're working on your interior for your vehicle, obviously the seats have a lot to do with it. Check out Tees.
The prevailing theme for the weekend is autocrossing, and we're going to have a little chat with one of the pioneers that brought autocrossing to the muscle car industry. Brett, how is the show going this weekend?
Oh, it's been great. I love coming to Columbus. I've been coming here for going on 20 years. It's my birthday weekend, so I always have a good time up here.
Excellent. Happy birthday, by the way. So we've been really taking a deep dive into autocrossing. It has a lot of motion, there's a lot of sound. It really is bringing some new blood into the sport. Give me a little backstory about how autocrossing came to this side of the industry.
Well, originally we developed the Autocross series for Good Guys in '06. We took 8 of our own cars to Nashville, Tennessee, and I approached Gary and Mark Metters at the time, and I said, look, here's what I want to do. All I need is a parking lot and for you not to call the cops when we start squealing tires and making noise. And they're like, yeah, whatever, it sounds good, see how it goes. Well, 2 years later, they took over the series, and now, for example, here in Columbus, we had well over 100 cars competing. There were thousands of people hanging on the fence and in the bleachers watching this stuff go on. It's become a big deal.
It really is amazing. It's impressive to see these beautiful cars perform and handle. There's a reason why you wanted to start autocrossing. What was that reason?
Well, at that point in time, the company name was Air Ride Technologies, and we did only air suspension. Well, in the muscle car market, air suspension had the perception of being appropriate for only laying around in the parking lot. No serious performance car would have an air suspension on it, which is absolutely untrue. And I needed a way to prove that. So the way to prove it was to set up an autocross and put people's butts in seats and take them around the course and show them that an air suspension was at least as capable as any other suspension. And from that grew the Autocross series.
I love it. A little marketing genius created a whole new element to the event that everyone's embracing. It's really impressive to see. What about myths and misconceptions? What do you think that people think about when they're thinking about air suspensions? What's that big challenge there?
Well, it continues to be a challenge to convince people that there's no compromise on an air suspension. In fact, in some cases, a lot of cases, it's a very much an enhancement over a traditional suspension. The adjustability in spring rates, the adjustability of weight bias, the raising and lowering of the car, it all works together as a nice package. And we continue to run air suspension on many of our cars in the Autocross series. Since that time, we've expanded beyond just air suspension into coilovers and all that kind of stuff. But still, air suspension is well over half of our annual revenues. It continues to be a big deal.
And that wraps up this episode of REV'N News.
And if you just can't get enough of cars, trucks, shows, parts, and products, then keep tuning in each week to REV'N News.
And we invite you to follow us on Facebook and check us out on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.